Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I am Nerdarchist Ted, and today we're going to play some 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. Before we do, a couple of things. Number one, down in the description below, you can find a link to where all of these amazing players can be found when they're not here joining our stream. And two, if you happen to be heading out to Page or Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo this weekend, you can hang out with yourself and Dave, or with myself and Dave. Hang out with yourself whenever you like, too, by all means. But you can hang out with Dave and I at the convention. Dave and I will be running games, signing autographs, hanging out, having a good time. So if you're on the East Coast here in the US, come check it out. Come have some fun, roll some dice, and game. So let's dive into some Balaria. Last session, what began as diplomacy ended in revelation. The Chamber of Still Accord, a place meant to still violence and temper power, became the site of betrayal. Words were exchanged between the Archmage Riven Soltor and the Thorn Mother that carried the weight of years. Old collaborations, older wounds, philosophies sharpened into weapons. For a fleeting moment, it seemed plausible that Balaria might choose restraint over ruin. Then the city forgot how to breathe. The magic wards failed, not with a scream, but with silence. Magic vanished, and steel rung out. Figures emerged where none should have been, disciplined, coordinated, moving with purpose that spoke of planning rather than panic. An assassination, not of convenience, but of a statement. Someone had decided that neither Riven nor the Thorn Mother should be allowed to walk away from that table. The party stood between these titans. For 2 brutal rounds, the chambers became a killing ground. Blades rang where spells should have sung. Blood marked the floor where once only shadow lay. And when it became clear that survival, not victory, was the only option left, the party fled, scattered into the veins of the city, each vanishing down a different path. The vast city swallowed them. Blending into the streets, Buzz, his eyes burning with arcane light, pierced a deeper truth. Invisible figures stood among the crowds, uniformed, observing, watching citizens, not in people, but as in entries in a ledger. They did not move like the forgotten thought, and Will knew it. Whatever force had acted tonight, it was something else, something organized, something patient. Were they always here, or were they looking for someone, something? When the echoes finally faded, the party reunited, and the city's hum returned, the Thorn Mother emerged from the shadows and smoke, wounded, furious, but very much alive. She did not threaten, she did not plea, she simply asked, "Help me find who would dare strike at me, at us. Someone in Balaria has broken the unspoken rule, and now nothing was safe. Not memory, not power, not even the idea of neutrality." We left off with a conversation. We left off with the idea that there were very few who had the power and the resources to strike at such powerful individuals in the way that they were done. So now we return to that moment. Thorn Mother says, "Give me time. Let me reach out to Riven. Let us pull our resources. Give a moment to figure out who the most likely culprits could be. And then I ask for your help in, again, finding who this monster could possibly be."
So, don't call you, you'll call us kind of deal?
I imagine Riven is just as angry as I. And his resources are not as limited as I. So I imagine a response will be quick. But we both must secure our defenses before we can move into any kind of contemplation, if that makes sense. And after such a trying battle, I imagine you yourselves would care for a rest yourself.
Yeah, but can we go rest where we were? Because, like, what if we're not safe? Like, we can't just think, like, we walked away from that and they're not going to come look for us. That's stupid.
You could rest here. This place is fairly secure.
I would literally just walk to a corner and stand in it.
As was noted the last time you were here, this place is unable to be scryed upon by any means. One cannot listen through walls or pierce its gaze.
Security through obscurity, I suppose.
In a matter of speaking, it is essentially immune to any kind of divining. It's not quite its own pocket dimension, but it's as close a thing as could possibly be done.
If only a group of interlopers, as I look to my party, weren't just walking about and he's walked right in, but seeing that we are here together and on the same page, I think I can rest here more safely than anywhere else.
But this is a thing that concerns me. This place was secure. It's not like we advertised that we were going to this meeting. It's not like that we advertised that this meeting was happening, and yet they knew that it was.
Well, then it is perhaps possible that the room or rooms where you have been staying have been observed by our enemies. And by our, I mean clearly mine and Riven's. I do not think any of you were the target.
I mean, it leads me to believe that you or Riven have a mole.
That is entirely likely. I think that could be another thing to look into. But again, whoever is behind it is got to be someone of enough magical means themselves that they would be looking to benefit from Riven's removal. Would you like me to call some of my agents to be extra eyes, or do you fear getting anyone to come here would put you further at risk if you think there is a legitimate turncoat?
Do any of your people know you're going to be there?
I have not spent much time with my flowers, if you want to call them that, in quite some time. Pretty much since the fires. I've been operating on the down low, if you will.
I mean,
Can I insight that?
There's a couple things. One, we really didn't have much trouble tracking this place down.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think we're capable, and I do not, like you said, believe we are the primary targets. So as long as you and Riven aren't here, we'll probably be okay.
Well,
I'll have a message to you, hopefully by morning. If not, by midday, I should have something. Any other questions before I take my leave?
No. Actually, I think we'll be safer once you leave.
Very well, then. And she winds up, shrinking down to a smaller height. A black cloak appears out of nowhere, over her shoulders, she pulls the cowl up and steps out into the, you know, evening light of, well, she steps out of the room and then eventually out into the evening light. Um, you know, you can hear the pattered footfalls for a while before eventually vanishes and you guys are left to yourselves.
Yeah, as soon as she's out of sight, I turn to the rest of the group. No, 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 no. If we just sit this one out, our problems might be over.
Are you okay, Buzz?
Ooh, what do you mean?
That.
I always talk like this.
No. Are you okay? If you weren't mechanical, I figured you were just scared or jumpy, but
I'm not sure what you mean.
I'm gonna...
Buzz has always stuttered.
Oh, yes?
Yeah.
He's always stuttered, and Dave has wound up leaned into it more for the last couple of episodes.
Okay, because I'm thinking about, like, sessions yonder back.
It's all right. You can pick on him for his disability. It's fine. Motherfucker.
Right? Alrighty, well, alright, just making sure your nerves are of steel and not nerves. Can't be too careful, especially with knowing your ability to change shape and whatnot.
I think my nerves are made of some fibrous material, but I'm not going to open it up to find out.
That's not the Buzz I know.
I have other steel in me, other places.
Well, as long as we keep our wits about ourselves, I think everything will be fine, as we'll be just as steadfast as you.
Assuming, and I didn't want to say this in front of her, that none of us is the mole. And her eyes kind of meet each person.
So here's something that we need to look in the eye. Look, the people that I thought this was, I'm not so sure anymore, and I've got reasons to think I'm not so sure anymore, but you should know that if it is them, it might have been me and I might not have known.
I'm glad you said it. I didn't want to be the one to say it.
I should have figured that you all would have realized that. It's not exactly rocket science knowing what you do, but I should probably leave the room for this if you guys are going to be planning just in case. Like, they can make me tell them things. They can make me forget that I told them things.
I'm not saying it was you. In fact, it's almost obvious if it were. I was wondering if we, as a group, I've been wondering for a while if our partnership, if you will, is more long-term. And if that's the case, we need to develop trust. And so, in the spirit of trust, I am willing to either open up to whatever sort of magical mind probing you would like, such as a zone of truth or psionic link or anything, or perhaps just opening up in general.
You're not gonna believe this, like several sessions back, I unlearned Zone of Truth. So I'm like,
We have a cleric. That's exactly where her eyes go when she says Zone of Truth, too, is Jelena, actually. But then she says, at the end of the day, if we don't have trust, we don't have a group. So, I guess I put forth the question. What do all of you need from me to trust me?
you've already... You're the type of person, no offense, wears your emotions on your sleeves.
I take that as a compliment, actually.
I don't feel like there's any more that has to be done. But if I'm being frank myself, I'm probably sticking with you guys until I can get out. Not at your expense, but just until I can keep on moving. I don't feel like I can ever stop moving, but I will say, out of all the hijinks I got into for a minute, this had been the most fun.
And
Would
maybe
it
the
have
most
been that-
weird.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Could it have been that that girl we found?
I suppose.
Plant Mother Junior?
Yeah, being a clone would probably piss me off especially if they did a bad job.
So
Well,
should
there
we
wasn't
retrieve
really anybody else. So, well, maybe they got to her while we were somewhere else.
So perhaps we should bring her here then? Is that what you're saying?
No.
I mean, not yet.
Yeah,
Let's get
like-
arrested.
What if she wasn't as innocent as we thought? Or maybe they got her. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm trying to think of who else was here that would have known we were having a meeting. But then it could also be somebody that was at Riven's thing because he told us to bring her to him alive. And his assistant in that big thing at the gate would have known, I think. I don't know if the big thing would, but just thinking.
So we have our own list of suspects then.
Somebody ratted us out. That's clear.
Why should be like the ooze people from like billion sessions ago?
So I want to go over the Hannibal, and Hannibal might have a word with you in private.
I go private with you and I use the message cantrip, depending on how private you want to be.
Actually, I was trying to figure out how to tell you to message me without telling you to message me.
Oh,
Perfect.
bro, we symbiotic. What?
I'm thinking that maybe. Oh wait, we're in message. I'm thinking maybe that if Ryle indeed is an unwitting spy, we can use that to our advantage. Maybe we can plant false information.
I have some reservations about that, but tactically not unintelligent.
Hannibal, I'm a genius.
I mean, I normally something I will get consent for the person of, but we're not talking anything dubious, right?
No, I was thinking more along the lines we give them information so that we can get the drop on them instead of the other way around. Not against Ryle.
Of course, but under that specific circumstance that your thoughts are correct.
But also, can we really rule Ryle out?
How about everybody else? How far do you want to weave this web of deception?
Well,
I'm not saying it's not.
Ryle is
warranted.
admitted to working with them and being one of their members. Ryle is clever and, as Granny Goodness often says, unreadable. Deceiving us will probably be fairly easy.
You put me in a quandary. But
Just to be the devil on the shoulder. Could he be reading your minds right now?
yes. Well, isn't this the anti-scry zone?
Is,
Yes.
Under. Damn it! I knew I should have took scry to double check that.
Is detect thoughts divination?
Probably. Actually, I have it right on my character sheet.
Yeah, I mean, I know you have it.
Detect.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
So if the Thorn Mother, if the Thorn Mother's words were accurate, then that would be a safe. That would be, you would be safe against that.
But they're using message here too. Isn't that also divination?
Let me triple check on that. It is transmutation.
Oh.
Also, it might be an in and out thing, not necessarily like we're not going through it.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, when you said that, I'm all like, oh, it probably is divination. Let me triple, quadruple check. Crap, transmutation. Okay.
That's pretty cool, actually.
We all learning things every day, brother. But yeah, yeah. So, look, I think we should at least involve one more person in this consensus.
Yes, we should talk to Granny Goodness.
You should not pick her because, oh my gosh, she would just blow the whole thing wide open. That's like the worst choice.
I mean, Buzz, like, I have pros and cons for everybody, but I'll let you pick who we involve in this conversation.
Well, Ryle's out. I think Granny Goodness has a good heart. I don't know. Kane's hard to read. He hasn't said much, but Jelena is a cleric. Seems a little naive and wise, very wise at the same time. So, I think it's got to be Doris or Kane.
It's a good thing you're making this decision, because out of the two of us, you're smarter.
I mean, Jelena's great, but again, she's very unworldly. And also, they burn people where she comes from, so there might be slight judgment issues there.
I kind of tapped on your head. You're going through a feedback loop? Like...
Am I allowed to table talk a little bit here?
By all means.
Okay, if you guys pick Doris, you know she despises secrecy within the group. She will absolutely ruin any plans or secrecy you have going on if you pick her. Just so you know. Kane may be your better choice.
So let me table talk this a little bit further. Are Hannibal and Buzz, like, are you just off leaning against the wall, or like are you kind of like standing there just staring intently at each other? What's the body language? What's the positioning?
Well, because Buzz was trying to get him alone and he went the message, I would have just like went to standing in the corner.
Okay.
I mean, as long as I'm within 120 feet of you.
Yeah, like away from him so that we could just like converse. So we're not just staring levelly into each other's eyes. I mean, I wouldn't mind it with Hannibal, but you know.
I just wanted to, be able to have a moment for the other characters to interact with the not happening that's
Yeah.
happening, you know. So all right, so you guys are on, you know, opposite sides of the room having a conversation, mentally looking at like you guys are just kind of each individually lost in thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to me, it doesn't matter which one we go to. Um, Buzz's opinion is that while yes, Doris doesn't like secrecy and is very much about the group and taking care of people, in his mind, she couldn't possibly be that stupid. Who would be that stupid? So,
I mean, if you're all about surviving this, no one's a better survivalist than Kane.
but that being said, right? Like your character, Hannibal, is probably better at reading people and understanding people. Like I just logically go, Doris is the logical choice.
I'll definitely.
No one would do something that stupid where you might be like, she might try and talk us out.
To save that conversation, I'll definitely be all like, "Yo, look, man, I hear you loud and clear, but her moral compass is so much higher than her intellectual one. But if you're purely talking about survival, down to it, I feel like, and I'm just feeling these vibes out. I feel like Kane is the person if you're gonna introduce someone this.
I know facts and information. You know people. I'll trust your knowledge.
I kind of say stand by and I what is Kane doing at this moment is the question.
Just stand there, really. Sees you two just, in his mind, you two probably look like you're getting high again. You just dazed off into La La Land. He's probably just shaking his head like, all this shit going on, these two are just over there once again.
Yeah, then I'll mentally chime you in. Yo, Kane, it's me.
Yo.
Not you know what I mean. I'm not actually saying that. I'll be like, Kane, do not be alarmed. Please don't try to make it obvious, but there's a plan Buzz and I have, and message is only peer to peer. It's not peer to many, you know what I mean? So whatever Buzz wants to dictate to Kane, I'll definitely message that over, assuming you don't know the message can't strip already, Buzz.
I do not.
Then I'll be more than happy to spend the rest of the evening translating messages you wish to say over to Kane.
Hey, you're the hub.
Yeah. And vice versa, you know?
So, plan, you say?
Yeah, I mean, if we could possibly plant the false information that Riven and the Thorn Mother are going to do another meeting somewhere else, and like we set up a trap. I mean, myself and Hannibal could actually pose as them.
For how long, though, can you guys keep that shape?
At least an hour.
Yeah, at least an hour. I mean, if we don't tell Ryle that they're not really going to be there.
I mean, they did come to our little group here after everybody else. And they did admit it. They could be the mole. If you guys are confident in doing it, I think I can help.
Well, worst case scenario, you know, we set up an ambush that, or a trap, and it doesn't get sprung, and then, you know, maybe we can eliminate Ryle as the leak.
I kind of take a quick moment just to speak as myself and say, like, look, and I'm telling this to both of you guys, let it be known I do trust Ryle. But we know nothing of this Ryle that Ryle knows not of.
Well, Ryle said that they could be involuntarily helping.
Indeed.
At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if Ryle's the leak, how it happens, just that it is happening.
Yes. I'm just saying I want it to be known. And I'm hoping my gut that I'm proven right. That's all. And I go back to
I don't think it's necessarily that we're considering them that for sure the traitor. It's just like they said, narrowing it down because they said they may be involuntarily doing it. It's probably the easiest and quickest thing to eliminate, whether it's her or him or not.
You know, if you think you know, Doris wouldn't go along with the deception, perhaps we can make her part of the deception.
I give like a mental sigh. I know a sigh is a throat sound, but I do a mental sigh because, like, you know, like, we're gonna, no matter what happens, we're gonna freaking hear it afterwards. Like,
well, words cannot hurt you unless they know power word kill. That would suck.
One day I will learn that spell. But today, not.
And perhaps we can use Jelina's Naveti to our advantage as well. If we really sell the ruse, maybe, you know, find these enemies for Riven and the Thorn Mother. Our debt to Riven will be paid. Perhaps we will have a debt on the balance sheet from the Thorn Mother, and we can have people stop trying to kill us.
I thought our debt with Riven was paid.
It is paid.
It is.
But
Oh,
Okay.
but like, but you're basically choosing to be burnt to death or punched to death at this rate. But
that just does not seem logical. It serves the purpose that we're all seeking.
I then chime in to Kane. Keep in mind, he's the one without flesh.
I could say you guys could blame me, but I don't think they believe I was the mastermind behind this. I could take the punch in the flame, but I don't think they believe I'm smart enough to do this.
Can you create illusions?
Me or Kane?
No.
I mean,
Kane's non-magical. What am I gonna do?
yes, I wouldn't know how high are you. Like,
P.S. If any of you want to roll insight on me, I am willing.
I actually want to have a conversation with you when they're done here, with you and Jelena.
Great. Like, we're talking while they're talking? Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kane, but Kane will
Perfect.
probably, like, I don't know, she'll probably dismiss him as being disengaged. Because of the messages.
Yeah. But absolutely, I was asking Hannibal if he can cast illusions.
I know illusions of the minor variety. And
You can do a little bit of sight or a little bit of sound, but not both.
yeah, I could turn myself invisible. Hell, I can even make it look like I'm going someplace and not really there. With
So-
mislead, but
What if you have the Thorn Mother appear in front of us, and I can create a small device that can make sounds, have her deliver the message and then vanish.
Yeah, I need to emphasize, like, these are unsophisticated illusions. I wanna just, like, if you're talking about having her speak, the mouth probably won't move. But if you need someone to look like the Thorn Mother, I've been practicing. And I'll then let you know of my acting feat. And I've interacted with her more than 10 minutes, so if you need me to impersonate the Thorn Mother, sound like her and make it happen, baby, I got you.
Sure.
Put me in, coach.
All right, here's what we do. You create a minor illusion of Buzz standing in the corner doing nothing. I will cast Disguise Self and impersonate you. And you come and impersonate the Thorn Mother.
This is a multi-layered shenaniganery. I'm here for it. I think it's okay to let everyone
do it.
Illusion Inception. What the fuck?
This is hilarious. But you guys will have to leave the room to make this work. Because we're all in the same room.
Yeah, we don't know when or where or anything, but that's just a rough draft. And I'm assuming it's okay for you guys to shift over to the next people already. Since we've guarded enough time.
Alright, so Rill, Jelena, and Doris. Meanwhile, what does your conversation look like?
So Doris kind of invites the others to come over to her. She probably builds some kind of small fire or something. When Kane ignores her, she passes it off as, you know, it's Kane. He's mysterious and enigmatic. And those two are probably getting high in the corner. She looks at Jelena and looks at Rill and says, for the two of you, I just want to be forthcoming. Jelena, you are such a sweet cinnamon roll. And I don't believe you possess the wherewithal, if not the capacity, for deception. And Rill?
What's the cinnamon roll?
Oh, they're lovely. We have them. It's a pastry. Maybe if we get to go to my dome sometime, you'll get to have one. It's a pastry made with the bark of a spice tree. It's very lovely. It's spicy, it's sweet, it's warm and gooey. And comforting. Comforting more than anything else.
I like the different food. It's nice.
But Rill...
So just because you brought it up, not all domes have access to the wonders of, you know, spice to make things taste that much better. So to bring about something as flavorful as such, it's worth its weight in almost gold.
Ooh, people are killing each other over this all over again. Okay. But then Doris looks to Rill, and Rill, you see her really meet your eyes. And she says...
And he meets them right back. Like, he doesn't usually, he's kind of shifty, but you got good eye contact right now.
Rill, everyone else here except for you, I was forced into a relation by virtue of us all being in jail. I picked you, and specifically, I picked you, so I know that you didn't plant yourself among us. But I did so because I sensed that you were capable, and I felt that we needed more capability than I was willing to give this group credit for, to be frank.
Truth time. I did join you on purpose. I made myself stand out so that you would notice me. I was trying to get you to invite me along. I just didn't think it was going here. And it wasn't them who sent me. I was working for the same guy you were.
Riven.
Yes.
Well, bravo.
But when we started getting to the point that I realized he was shafting the rest of you too, I mean, it's kind of standard procedure, the poison. You're going to take this and we'll kill you slowly if you don't comply. That's very normal.
That
But-
doesn't sound normal.
Well, neither does burning people. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. There are a lot of things that you think are normal until you hear other people respond to them, I guess.
That's true.
But look, I'm gonna say this, and I'm never gonna say this again, so you better remember it, and don't tell anybody else I said this, or I will deny it vehemently. But I kind of like you guys. The idea of the things happening to you that I know are going to happen to you if those people get their claws in you, it makes me terribly angry. And I don't remember the last time I held my own anger. Like, and he turns into you, and then he turns into her, and then he turns back into himself, and he just like kind of holds his hands up, and he's like, I'm supposed to be a blank slate. I'm not supposed to get this personally involved ever. I'm not supposed to care, but I do care.
So as you kind of mentioned this, like what is going through Rill's head? The layers of mental discipline, the physical and mental trainings that you went under to get involved as deeply as you did. How does this connection over such a short amount of time mess with that programming?
Oh, it is hardcore trauma bonding is what we've got here. We have been through some serious crap together, and it has formed
Sure.
those connections much faster than they should have been normally. And I'm like, he's not visibly twitching or anything because like a lot of that mental programming was about not showing it, right? But like on the inside, it is turmoil. It's like he knows that this is a death sentence. He knows that he is not going to survive this, and like he's kind of just going through the motions in his head, like, all right, how do I get them out? Like, how do I make sure that they survive this? Because I know I won't.
Awesome. I digress. Go on.
Doris responds to your last statement saying, Rill, you may think you are supposed to be a blank slate. That's not a thing any living creature can be. And you should not want to be because you are your own person.
I don't know that want had a lot to do with it in the beginning. I don't remember what my reasons were, but I serve a function. You know how it is. You serve a function or you die. You are ended. You are unmade. You are reduced to your component parts and made into something useful.
No, actually.
Does Rill actually remember any of his past
No.
prior to your programming?
No, not a thing.
So flashes of images go through your mind. They're disconnected. Give me I'll let you make you're going to make a skill roll, but you're seeing a bunch of disconnected images. What skill are you using to interpret it?
Ooh. Can I insight? Can I use insight? Can I insight on
Absolutely.
myself?
Yep. Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Good, because I'm good at this.
Okay.
Except I'm not taking that roll. That was terrible. I'm gonna go ahead and use my inspiration.
Absolutely.
Okay,
As a
that's much
reminder,
better.
What do you got?
22.
22. So you're not sure how you know. Obviously, everyone knows, life in the domes is difficult. And, sometimes people make choices that are to better themselves. Sometimes it's, to make life better or bearable for someone else. You see a man and a woman, clearly impoverished, and they've got, they're looking down at a young child that is reaching up towards them. It flashes to probably a couple of years later, and the child is like looking back and forth between these two people and very similar uniformed individuals, their own faces blank of any kind of emotion. A very large sack is passed over to the individuals, to this couple, and the child is taken away. Flashes real quick of moments painful of going through the process of the training, both in learning weapons, learning the body, where to strike, how to strike, lessons on interpreting not only speech patterns, but what is being said when words are not coming out. You watch as, not only this individual, but others are punished for poor performance. The images flash by so quickly, and none of it is a happy memory. None of it is anything that you're like, oh, I can remember this fondly. What little has just been shared of who Rill was before they went through any of this. You realize that there's nothing pleasant except the concept of success. You passed. You completed whatever it is that you were supposed to complete. And only those moments are anything that is a positive impact upon your life. Yet in the short amount of time that you've known these people, even though there has been hardship, you've seen pleasantries, you've seen smiles, you've seen joy. And maybe that is why you're fast bonding to them, almost like a surrogate family.
And there's just for a moment, the facade cracks, and you can see surprise, hesitance, just a little fissure running through all of it. He doesn't exactly cry. I don't know that he's still capable of that, but his expression crumbles a little bit for just a moment, just a flash. If you blink, you miss it, but you see. And then it's replaced by resolve.
Real, I don't know what philosophy or experiences you have, but you don't have to choose obedience or death. We are born to those who have hopes and dreams for us. This is true. But we can choose to say no. Even if it's selfish. And that's where you see her mask crack just a little bit. Even if it's selfish.
I don't think the people that brought me into this world had any real hopes for me. I think they were hoping to get paid.
I'm sorry.
Does everyone kind of like take this moment and settle down, or does the conversations continue?
Jelena, do you have anything to add?
No, I'm just soaking it all up.
So the weariness, the elements of safety that you feel that you've presented eventually allow all of you to go ahead and rest, whether you set a watch or whether you don't. You guys can go ahead and long rest, restore those lost hit points or refresh those abilities as you need.
Rill, are you willing to share a watch with me?
Yeah,
Since we both only sleep 4 hours.
sounds good.
Okay, cool.
The morning comes. Those of you that have rested in this place, your body, your mind feels rested, but the weight of what is still left to be done, in this place lingers. It hangs on your thoughts. Maybe even, affected what dreams you've had for those that actually have such things. At some point in time, a flower blooms in the middle of the room. Does anyone investigate?
Is it pretty?
Indeed.
Okay, I will investigate it.
Others will watch to
so
see what happens when Jelena investigates it, and also he pretty much assumes it has something to do with the Thorn Mother.
So as the flower blooms, inside is a small piece of parchment rolled up in a thin vine.
I'll take it.
So you unfurl it, and it's just a simple message and a minor arcane phrase. And basically says, read this phrase, which will cause the parchment to burn. That will be signal that I can come to you.
Question. Can I read if I have an intelligence of 8?
Yes.
Okay.
The
People say no.
5th edition had, didn't really do anything with the hey, it takes a certain level of intelligence to be able to read. Heck, in earlier editions, barbarians just couldn't, regardless of what level you were, regardless of what your intelligence was. You just said, nope, I don't read. So it's crazy. So yes, you can read and write all the languages that you can speak, regardless of what your intelligence is.
All right, I'll read it out loud then.
So, without conferring with the others, within a couple of minutes, the Thorn Mother in her smaller guise comes walking into the room. As she does so, she lowers the cowl, and in so doing, resumes her normal height. Bear with me. I've not rested. Her voice is low, roughened, clearly not by fear, but by anger. What happened in that chamber was not rage. It was desperation, intent. And she kind of like spits out that last word with a bit too much vile. She takes a moment, studies each of you in turn. As stated, only a few in the city could have reached into that place, stripped it bare of magic, and walked away believing that they would not be remembered. She lifts a clawed hand and curls 3 fingers. First, there is the Keeper of Records, the one who knows where every name is stored and where names go to die. If memory itself were a weapon, they would know how to sharpen it. They despise Riven for what he erases, but they would never admit to the blood on their hands. She pauses, takes a breath. Second, the Engineer. A mind obsessed with proving that magic can be caged, silenced, turned off. Riven crushed their work, ruined their future. You saw the device that killed the wards and thought this was built, not cast. And you were thinking in the right direction. Her grip tightens. And third, the one who hides behind courtesy and quiet authority. Not a mage crowned by council, but a noble who decides that the city remembers. They believe no one should ever become indispensable, including Riven, including me. She lets her hands fall to her sides. All 3 could have done it. 2 clearly would have needed help. Only 1 would have believed it necessary. She looks at each of you again, not as tools, but as pawns, as witnesses. You want the truth. We have to figure out which of them fears the future the most. And she reads off, or she cites off the names. Suspect number 1, Archivist Primus Elowin Mar, Keeper of the Deep Civic Records. Suspect number 2, Magister Thala Vex, the Independent Balarium Engineer. And third, come on. I hate when my notes are screwed up. Apologies. The primary architect, Lord Kaelrix Vanth, Warden of the Lattice March. Each holds distinct power, distinct magic within the city. All have some connection, either remotely or very connected to those that entered the chamber.
Well, time seems to be of the essence, and there are 6 of us. So...
The faster we act, the faster we can resolve this and be gone from this place.
I wonder if perhaps we should pair up and each take one to investigate in our own way. I'm inclined to prefer Rill, since we can both be stealthy and avoid any detection if wanted.
I'm alright with that.
Is it okay if I take Kane with me?
I think that would be up to Kane.
You say, is it okay? I didn't realize you were asking.
My friend, everything in courtesy. It's like...
Oh, I thought you were like just speaking out loud your thoughts, like, Kane.
He wants a big, strong man to go with him.
Yeah, I'm squishy. And second of all, divvy up the magic. You know what I mean?
I'll go with you.
All right, that leaves Buzz and Jelena.
So, who wants to investigate who?
Rill, who do you think would be best for us to sneak in on?
That's a good question. But
All three are notable figures within the city, and as stated, all three have access to considerable magic. They might not be on the same level as Riven, but not too far behind him. So each of these are, a considerable target, and all investigation should be, proceed with caution.
Did you say one of them was an artificer or a construct
Thala is an engineer.
engineer?
Vex is an engineer. Yeah.
I think we should investigate that one. I would have a reason to talk to them.
I don't have a preference.
There might be fire and explosions with the engineer.
That is true. True.
All right, so Jelena and Buzz are taking Magister Thalra Vex. That leaves the Archivist, Primus Elwin Mar, and Primary Architect Lord Kaelrix Vanth.
Is judging off titles, which will be a spell user?
Both. All of them.
Dang it!
As stated, anyone who is a suspect for this is expected to climb the political ladder, and in Balaria, you need to be a spellcaster to do so.
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you, Ted. I completely didn't remember any of those names, but I'll take the first one you said.
All right.
Just gonna be honest with
so
you.
you're going to go with Archivist Primus Elwin Mar, Keeper of the Deep Civic Records.
Elwin Mar. Now I need to remember.
Which leaves Rill and Doris to go after the suspect number 3, Lord Kaelrix Vanth. Who was going first?
Well,
How about Hannibal and Kane?
I was
All
gonna
right.
say wisdom before anyone else, seeing I know.
I second
But-
Hannibal and Kane.
Wow. All right, King, let's do this, baby.
All right. So we're gonna do this as kind of a little bit of a skill challenge for each of these groups, and depending upon your success or failure, you will get either correct or incorrect information. So obviously, investigation is going to work. I imagine intimidation is going to be successful. Persuasion, certainly useful. Outside of that, you pitch to me, how something is going to work, um, and we'll kind of narrate this as a scene, just because there's a lot to do and very little time left for this game.
So, I'll definitely take Kane aside to briefly discuss strategy and be like, listen, I could change my shape without a needing of concentration, but to change yours, I do need to concentrate, which is a benefit. But I need to know, are you willing for this transformation? And also,
what am I transforming for?
Well,
why am I transforming?
Stealth. Maybe. Now, I gotta be honest with you, Kane. I can transform you into a beast. I know. You're probably about to live out your fantasy right now, but I'll pick a beast of your choosing.
Hannibal, you don't know this, because I don't think I've ever said it, but they did call me the Hound of Goreville.
The Hound of Goreville? Describe to me how that looks like, really quickly.
So, it's not a description, it was just the title they gave me in the arena.
Okay, well,
You said beast. I was just trying to give you some leadway.
No, okay, well, alright, well, then the Hound of Goreville shall be once as I cast Polymorph on you. And, you are a hound. But I'll give you... How gnarly do you look is the question. You have, like, biceps, like, you're like one of those dogs that goes to the gym, like... What do you look like?
A cane corso.
Right?
Yeah, yeah, a cane corso. Yeah, exactly. Cane with a K.
And I'll transform into. I will use my own disguise self to make myself look like your handler. Okay.
Turn yourself into a little girl.
Sure. Yes,
All
a little girl.
All right. So, how is the dog going to take part in this skill challenge?
I don't know. I was going with Hannibal's lead here on this one.
I'm just
Intimidation?
Well-
You did say intimidation.
Well, as a hound,
You'll
you
have
should have
keen
heightened. should-
hound senses.
Yeah, as a hound, you should have heightened perception.
Okay. All right. So, again, for expediency, let's get into some skill rolls, and we'll see how this investigation winds up going. Because I mean, this could be literally a session dedicated to each of these, trying to dig deeply, and we don't really have time for that. So, so what are you rolling?
For me, I'm going to roll deception as a little girl, trying to be
Okay.
like paying myself off as a.
So that it is. I'm not gonna have any problems having people believe that you are a little girl. But how is a little girl going to get necessary high-ranking information from high up within the nobles area?
Kane, hear me out. Run up in there, and I'm gonna chase after you, saying, "Where's my doggy? My doggy? My doggy?" Okay.
Okay, well, I rolled intimidation and got a nat 20. And got 26 out of it.
That pure rage, my guy.
Well, the 20 would certainly hold, and I'll allow that to be successful. But when you're a dog, you don't get to use your stats. You use the stats of whatever you've been turned
Nat
into.
20.
So, certainly to your advantage and to a win. but it actually did. His transformation did you a disservice in this case. So what are you rolling there, Carlos?
If I'm gonna get past any sort of guards to chase my dog, quote unquote, I feel like acrobatics seems appropriate. If you agree.
Well, I mean, if all you're doing is chasing after the dog, and if you think deception is better, certainly you go ahead and roll that one.
Gee, I'm rolling deception, baby. Then gotta get my dog. Bye. Well, I have a plus 14 on that, and I rolled 17, so a 31. Good sir.
All right. Well, you've managed to get into areas that you really shouldn't be able to, because you're chasing after said dog.
I am a pretty girl. All right, man. Let's make this happen.
All right. So each of you guys are going to do a total of 3 different skill checks. You just can't use the same thing you used last time. So what are you doing this round?
I feel like what makes sense is after going through and letting the dog run amok, and this is just me story heading in my own head. I'm gonna use stealth to slip off at certain points. To be like, all right, let's maybe go through some bushes, or maybe slip into a dark corner so I can. Okay. How does a 25 sound?
25 is excellent.
By the way, I'm only picking shit that I'm proficient in.
And what about for you, Kane?
Well, I guess we'll go persuasion on this one.
Well, again, you're unless you can convince him to drop you back into human form.
Oh,
you're
well.
Animal, do you want to drop your spell?
I mean, dropping my spell would definitely cause a distraction.
But we're here to gather information, not distract and sneak around them. All right.
Yeah.
I think Hannibal's trying to use you for a distraction so he can break off and try and find information on his own or get killed.
Out of character, Tate was good. What do you want?
I mean, if I'm staying the dog, I could I guess I could roll athletics and run amok in there while you search for clues.
I'd allow that.
All right.
I love this, by the way. This is some Zoo Mafia shit right now.
Yeah, a good DM never turns down running amok.
All right, so no bonus, then it'd be a 12.
So I would say you're gonna get your proficiency bonus
on this one, and then it's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, and then I would say the hound is gonna have a little bit of strength. So you got over a 20. That certainly is successful at causing havoc as you run amok. So there is certainly some chaos being caused as guards are now joining in the chase of said dog. Third and final round.
Well, I might need to use a inspiration on this because it's my weakest one, but I think perception makes the most sense here. Okay. Assuming I've gotten through enough folks, I can maybe hear in on some deep secrets. I don't know if a 16 is enough, but
16 is your final answer?
I'm gonna use an inspiration, assuming I can use it as advantage, and burn it. So for my perception, 16 is final answer.
16 is final answer. Okay. And for you there, Kane. What Kane?
Wolves get a +4 to stealth.
What?
Wolves get a +4 to stealth.
Okay.
So if you wanted to, not get caught by the guards, you could, stealth away and try to not be detained.
Find another wolf, use pack tactics.
All right. Well, then stealth with the +4 makes it a dirty 20.
All right. So the two of you have quite the day. Kane, you spend time, growling at guards, causing a whole bunch of chaos. Imagine you probably jump into someone's house and, tear apart a meal, chase here, chase there. Some of the papers that wind up being stolen by you, you're able to glean a little bit of information. You're not sure how you found this, but Elwin Marr, he's got a reputation for being an obsessive historian, but he's politically neutral. He has not sided with any of the 5 archmages, despite the fact that some have tried to get him on their side. The two of you learn that Marr is a plausible culprit because beings that he is the archivist primus, he would know about the city's infrastructure. He would know of the Chamber of Still Accord and how it works. He would have access to forgotten failsafes and even memory suppression designs. If someone knew how to disable the Chamber's protection without brute force, Marr would certainly be there. In regards to Riven, there's a little bit of rivalry, despite the fact that he's politically neutral. Riven believes that memory should be correctable. Elwin believes memory should be immutable. Riven has overridden or sealed archives that Marr wanted preserved, so there's frustrations there. And even though it was only a short bit ago, Marr is certainly frustrated over the destruction in Smoke Bend and the erased peoples that are from there. Hannibal, you learn through your observation that Marr has said in private, Soltor does not merely destroy buildings, he destroys context. The organization that attempted to assassinate doesn't have any direct connection to Elwin, but he does have access to records. So there's certainly some information, but at best, it's circumstantial. Which team is going next?
Real, you game?
Yeah, I mean, my plan is basically just observe for a little bit, then turn into somebody who would be able to access this information.
Mm-hmm. My inclination is to, scope the place out. So maybe I'm scoping out and then you're infiltrating? Because
Okay.
I'm good at not being seen in the first place.
Yeah, that sounds great to me. Get the information, and then I will morph. And yeah, what's gonna work?
All right.
Teamwork.
Cool.
So we're gonna do this the same way that that we did with the other ones. 3 rounds of skill checks.
All right.
Depending upon how you do, determines what information, correct or incorrect, you receive.
Okay.
Again, investigation, persuasion, intimidation, all are certainly up there. You can pitch me on anything else.
I would like to use Pass Without Trace and
Okay.
Stealth to get
All right.
in unseen. Get into the house.
Sure.
So I will do that. That's a 15 base plus 8 is 23. Plus 10 from Pass Without Trace becomes 33.
33 without a problem.
All right. So second, I'm trying to get
Well, let's
through the
you know,
house. Oh, sorry.
all right. Yeah, it's okay. So Robin, Rill.
Yeah.
What would you like to make for your skill check?
All right, cool. I'm just persuasion. Like, I'm
Sure.
turning into somebody else for this.
Sure. Yep. So if
All
you're
right.
somebody else, I'll say you can do this with advantage.
Oh, great. Fantastic. That brings me up from a 17 to a 19 total.
There we go. All right. Back to you there, Doris.
Okay, I am kind of Spider-Manning this and like using acrobatics if I can to like leap between balconies inside and like, hide up top
Okay.
bookshelves and like, cramp into corners and things like that.
All right. It's a little higher DC, but certainly doable.
Okay. 21?
All right.
Oh wow, what happened to my camera? There we go.
It's focus issues.
Yeah.
All right. Rill, how about you?
Okay, I'm sorry. What am I rolling?
Any skill check you like. We're doing.
Oh,
we're doing
okay,
a,
okay, okay.
It's like you each get
Ooh,
three.
So can
three
I
skills of
insight
choice.
again?
Um,
Like I haven't done it this time. I did it earlier in the session.
Yeah, correct. It's you just have to use a different skill than what you used last round.
Dirty 20.
All right. Awesome. Doris, for your final skill.
For my final skill, because I'm trying to get a lay of the area as best I can and communicate that to Rill quickly and efficiently, maybe through a scrawled map or something like that. Do you think it makes more sense to do survival or perception?
I mean, either works. Perception certainly is going to have a lower DC than survival.
Okay, let's go for perception then. That I want to use inspiration for just because I'm not super confident in it. It was a 10 base, and I think I can do better. I can do better, but not that much better. So 19.
Okay. All right. And Rill, your final check.
I'm gonna investigation.
Awesome.
26.
All right.
Rogues.
The primary architect, Lord Kale Rigsnath, Warden of the Lattice March, patron of the Civic Archives, and it is whispered as the quiet hand of Balaria. His public face is he's a refined, soft-spoken noble responsible for civic memory, census records, and archival continuity. He is seen as harmless, dull, and utterly non-threatening. With that 26, you learn that his true role is the financial and philosophical architect of your organization. Calyx controls who is remembered and who disappears, controls what records persist, and he does not oppose Riven's policies. You learn that he opposes Riven's visibility. In Balaria's history, Riven designed various different pieces of technology. The containment engines, as they were called. Calyx designed the memory governance, which the name doesn't necessarily ring a bell, but you can put forth some thought to different things that you interacted with during your training. Riven believed that control must be centralized to prevent collapse, but Calyx believed that control must be invisible to prevent rebellion. You learned that when Riven burned Smokeben, Calyx thought that situation made too much noise, too much mess. If the assassins, for lack of a better name at this point, were to have to clean up those that survived it, that is an awful lot of work, because they didn't erase the whole district, they only burned parts of it. You know that with this group that you're a part of, or were a part of, depending upon how you view things now, Calyx finances them, selects philosophical doctrine, but is never the one to actually give the orders. It looks as if it's supposed to be autonomous, morally neutral, but you know that's not the case. Again, with that 26 and with the 30-something in stealth, why, if it was Calyx, why would he move now? Burning in Smokeben, it's mass violence. That creates martyrs. And martyrs destabilize not only memory, but it destabilizes the belief in their government. The fact that the Thorn Mother survived Smokeben, that she was able to get out, creates a visible public figure to stand upon, a banner that the public could rise up and use against the Archmages. And the fact that someone not part of the government, not part of law, was being asked to make a choice in what should have obviously been a council situation, utterly unbelievable. Riven should have taken the Thorn Mother to the other four and had them decide, not some no-names. Why would Riven want Calyx removed? Obviously, there's the direct rise to power. You know, with Riven's seat unoccupied, people are going to climb, and he feels he's pretty close to the top. If the Thorn Mother were to be removed at the same time as Riven, a literal thorn in the government side would be gone, securing the council's position within the dome, as well as the aspect of everyone gets a promotion.
Well, you know, I'm thinking Occam's razor dictates they were his men in the first place that caused this, and he's got all these reasons. But let's see what the next thing is first.
All right, group number 3.
All right. So, Julina, I think we should just go through the front door and request audience.
Okay.
Do you wish to
want
request
Taco?
them? you want to request an audience directly with Magister Thalravex?
I do. About the magical catastrophe that happened in the dome recently. I have vital information.
Okay. I'll let this slide. So you know what? Either give me persuasion, and I'm certainly going to pick this one, or an arcana as you cite, magical stuff and why you would need to speak to the Thalravex about it.
Yeah, I'm going to do that, and also stuttering the whole time until this guard's head frigging explodes. Like, he's going to go ask him just to end it, or he's going to throw himself on a sword, or me on a sword. But something's happening. Well, that's a 16, and I guess I will flash a genius myself, because I don't know what our DCs are. I make it a 20, 30.
30-20?
Yep, Arcana.
Right, well, tonight I've been doing a little bit of a sliding scale. The better the result, the more of a success or whatnot things have been. So, they come back. It will be a bit of time, but she can see you today. Pull out a die here real quick. Alright. You guys are kept waiting for about an hour. But eventually, someone in, functionable robes, comes out and leads you back through the offices. You can see that you're passing, obvious machinery at work. But this isn't the functional stuff that's down below. This is experimental. This is things that are in process. You're led to an immaculate office. Inside this place, lined with numerous books, scrolls, shelf with various different bizarre contraptions. Some things look obvious that, this clearly didn't work or doesn't work. It no longer works. Other things look like they hum with power, but they don't seem to be arranged in any particular pattern. As the two of you walk into this room, she stands. Greetings. You wish to speak to me about the happenings here in the dome? You had some concerns?
Greetings and information too. I am a Buzz, and this is Jelena. She's a high-ranking priest from one of the other domes.
She, gives a bow, not one that's... It's not a deep bow, but she isn't sure what should be your due. So she gives you a pittance of respect just to be on the safe side. Please have a seat.
I'm gonna start touching stuff, by the way. If it looks pretty, I'm touching it.
Well, out front where you would have access to would only be books. Any of the things that might look pretty are on the shelves behind her desk.
Okay. Well, books are fine. And I'll start neatly stacking them. Does it look messy? Or like unorganized?
There is nothing in this room that looks messy. And if you just start touching books, she'll say, please don't do that.
Oh, sorry. Can't help it.
You can't help touching other people's things when you go where they are?
I just love to learn about everything.
Uh, well, perhaps once this matter is resolved, if you wish to uh, enroll, we could begin teaching you.
Enroll in what?
This is a place of learning. Balaria is a bastion of engineering and industry.
It is quite incredible. So I want to go into like a long discussion of magical theory based upon the whole Thorn Mother incident and them burning everything out at the end, like from a very like scholarly point of view. But I'm actually like asking like leading questions because I want to kind of like verbally investigate and like kind of lead them through or try to lead them into revealing things that they might not otherwise.
Okay. So you want to basically go through the whole incident saying like, oh, Riven hired us to look into this and that, the other thing, giving them basically the entire scoop minus the jail scene, I imagine.
Yeah, matter of fact, it probably would start like after that because I wouldn't find that relevant to what I'm trying to do. And like,
Sure.
So like I might be trying to gain like 5-6 pieces of information, but I have them scattered throughout the conversation.
Right. So, I'm gonna ask you guys to do an insight roll on one of these aspects.
I think insight's going to be huge, Elena.
Got it. We're gonna use our 16.
So there was a slight reaction when you mentioned Riven's name, but clearly this person has been around the block before and composes herself before you're able to glean anything of it. But there was definitely something that passed by too quickly for you to truly glean anything substantial out of it. So as you're underlaying all of these things, are you looking to like have this be where you're making your investigation roll?
Yes.
Right. Go ahead and give me that check.
How's a 23?
23 is quite substantial. So do you do like any gleaming in that conversation to like butter her up by asking her about herself, or are you just
like,
looking to...
No, because anytime like any feats of magic or engineer would come in, that's where I'm like probing her by asking like questions, right? So some of the things that I may even tell her might not even have happened, but
Right.
is just to get to the point where I go, hey, what about this? I know you're, like you said, butter her up. You're a master
Sure.
engineer or arcanist.
So she goes into a lengthy conversation. She's a little bit of an oddball, and you learn that she actually does seem to like really get into, despite the fact that everything in her room is neat, her appearance is neat, she's probably just as much a a gearhead as anybody else. Um, she spends probably more time doing paperwork, but would rather be out there tinkering. She's a little bit eccentric, and you learn that she's not really into the politics. This is really where her, her desire. This is where she looks to shine. But as you, kind of look in deeper, like some things that she points out kind of stands out. Like, because there is so much magic, there is times that null magic, these anti-magic zones, could prove helpful. And she kind of winds up going down this track of like, it's easy for anyone with just the slightest bit of drive to learn how to change their form. And if all you can do is step around the corner and look like somebody else, how easy would that be to get away from the law? If you just all of a sudden, poof, here I am. But if we had guards that could prevent that kind of thing and make people really look like what they're supposed to, you wouldn't really have that problem. As you mentioned, things around Smoke Bend and the burning, she kind of gets and overshares a little bit about the fact that that particular archmage has caused her a little bit of problem, following regulations. Work has had to halt twice at some of the shops that she has been overseeing. But she is very eager to talk about some of the prototypes. She's got some wild ideas of things that could possibly be done to make things a little bit better for the smaller folk. Imagine if we could actually revitalize the ground and actually have small gardens in each abode, not having to rely on the underground farms. Do you imagine? That would be huge.
I could see how that would be quite helpful to the cities. But no magic?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying like no magic all the time, but when there's a problem, if guards could turn off magic in an area, certain culprits wouldn't be able to use their tricks.
Yes, but I don't know about giving that power to just anyone.
Well, and doesn't magic keep the dome safe here? Like through the constructs and stuff? Like it's a different dome than what I'm used to, but that's what it looks like.
Well,
so wouldn't that be bad?
We do have, a number of constructs, both sentient and non, that, serve and work here in the city. But the areas wouldn't be like permanently no magic. It would be something that could be turned on or off. It's an idea. It's a thought to thwart those that are trying to break the law and nothing else.
Yeah, but what if it fell into the wrong hands?
Well, many things can be that way. I mean, if a sword is in the wrong hands, someone can easily murder someone.
Oh yeah.
So as this conversation kind of bends and twists, let's get one more skill check. You guys tell me what your roll.
I want to roll Tinker Tools, and I want to latch on to her being a gearhead and talk about specifically Crystalia and the the rides that that are on the streets and just outside the city, and the racing and kind of like the spectacle and that kind of
By all
thing.
means. By all means.
All right, so that's a 27.
Nice. And what about you, Jelena?
I'm thinking performance. I need to keep up that I look like I have some concept of what Buzz is saying.
Sure.
And hold an interesting conversation of her level.
Sure.
So I did a 19.
Okay, great. So the things you learn, here, as she kind of gets into this conversation and shares some of her own experiences with racing, with inventing, and the stuff that's there. Her devices, the things that she is a part of, she wants people to know that it was her. Her tech has a signature, whether she really means to or not. If you were to look at, could this have been her? The attempt was precise. It was clean. Probably too clean for her. Sure, she's got some elements that could connect her to what's going on. And she definitely does not seem to really like Riven. But given the fact that she's not really ambitious, she's not looking to climb, you don't really think this was her.
Not her style.
But you're fairly confident of that.
Well, we'll figure out a way to exit the conversation and head on out.
So she genuinely seems to have enjoyed the conversation with you, Buzz, and she was so engrossed in what the two of you were talking about. She didn't really notice the glaze over Jelena's eyes as things got way beyond her level of understanding or interest. But eventually you guys finish the conversation, make your way out.
Yeah, 6 hours later.
I do have a question
probably
for-
closer to 90 minutes. But she gives you a coin with her personal symbol on it, Buzz. And that if with that 27, it's if you ever want to basically collaborate, you can definitely come back and she will make time.
Nice.
Can I ask her a question before we go?
Absolutely.
So these anti-magic devices, are they already around, or is there stuff like this?
Well, I mean, things that are like that would be hard to produce. I mean, there's the portable null engine, but I mean that's buried in the vault and takes serious power to get access to something like that.
What vault?
Excuse me?
Yeah, what, the General City Vault, or?
I'm not at liberty to share that information, madam.
I was just curious because it falling into the wrong hands.
It is well secured.
Dangerous. Okay. So somebody would have to know it was there, know how to get it, have approval to get it, to use it.
Yes.
Okay. It's interesting. No, appreciate it.
Again, she looks back to Buzz. It was enjoyable. I bid you both a fond day.
Perhaps we could ride sometime. Although we'd have to get some rides here.
We have slightly larger vehicles than the rides you spoke of, but I mean, there could be something to happen in the future.
But sometimes you have a need for speed.
I tend to do it other ways, but yes.
And Buzz will kind of like rub the coin between his fingers a few times before, putting it away.
So eventually, the lot of you collect back, I assume, back at the chamber where you met the Thorn Mother in Bolmarrow. Unless you had agreed to meet somewhere else. But hours of investigating, hours of walking to and from. You put your heads together. On the surface, Mar looks like the architect. Vex looks like the engineer. Kaelrix looks invisible. As you dive deeper, Mar's involvement predates the attack. Vex's tech was certainly, viable, but was she the one to actually use it? The attack seemed to target not just the individuals, but perhaps the symbolism that that which they two of them stood for. The goal wasn't death, it was destabilization. It was philosophical. And clearly, after the information you've got, it's too clean for Vex. It's too circumstantial for Mar. It clearly has to be Kaelric Vanth. The only question is, next time, how are you going to go after him? So I think this is a good spot to end of our penultimate session of Under the Dome Balaria. Join us next week to see how all of this story wraps up and what happens from there. So thanks for playing, thanks for watching, and until next time,